which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. We have some meeting minutes to approve. Would have been from our July 27th, 2015 regularly scheduled council meeting. There wasn't any additions or corrections. I need a motion to have those approved.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
There's a motion on the floor by Gina.
I'll second that.
Second by Don. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. Agenda this evening. Scott, we have some additions, I understand.
Yes. First off, we would like to add the American Legion. The request that we could put that up first.
Okay.
And if Brian wants to go on his department reports, or unless you want to be in the agenda.
He's at the end.
I can wait.
He's last, underneath the treasurer's report.
He's got one meeting a year.
I gotta
He's
stay.
got
You guys all leave if you want.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
gonna
we
happen.
did. Let's add
Why don't we
that.
put that down under our building, or, I'm sorry, yeah, we'll put it down under building permits.
Other than that, I can touch base in my reports with
Okay.
us. Unless there's someone else here. And David is here from SEH. Scott can make it tonight.
Okay. Do you have any other additions to the agenda? If not, I need a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve tonight's agenda with the 2 additions.
Motion on the floor by Mike,
I'll second.
second by Stephanie. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, carried unanimously. First item on the agenda is the American Legion. Welcome.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Tom Tice. I'm the new commander for the American Legion 341 here in Pierz. And I'm here to talk because I've been told there's been talk about this already, and I'm here to talk about a village park and our memorial and the drinking fountain. There was a drinking fountain there that was taken down, and now they're talking like they want one to be put back up. And we're sort of asking and hoping if people could agree, we could just tap it off and not have a drinking fountain there. One reason, it blocks off the memorial so bad when you drive by, you don't even hardly notice it. I even stopped and took pictures if you guys don't want to believe it tonight, because it's true. And the big thing is, how much did that drinking fountain actually ever get used? Have you ever done a survey or watched how much it got used? It can't be a whole lot, because for instance, you got a hockey rink here in Pierz in wintertime, they don't have a drinking fountain. We got a football game for the Pioneers and everything, they don't have a drinking fountain down there, you gotta buy your own water. Tennis, soccer, whatever it is, in Pierz there is no drinking fountain anywhere. Why should we have to put one up now? The cost isn't the factor here, it's the cost factor of how it blocks off the view of our Veterans Memorial. Number 2, for instance, Mr. Menden, aren't you married to Sherry Poster?
Yeah.
So then you're well used to, you got quite a few brother-in-laws that have been in the military. How about our other people up there? Do you have people that were in the military? Okay then, try and think of the perspective that there's been a lot of time and effort to put into this, and we're honoring the people that saved us, gave us freedom, and give us the life we have in front of us now. And also, man, aren't you a fireman?
Yep.
Don't you guys work on saving people's lives
Yeah.
and saving their house and stuff like that? Well then, you can be considered a person that's one of these people that have died in front of us already, saving everything. Use that perspective and thinking why people should drive by, stop, and look at the veterans. That's a big perspective of the whole matter. Because I myself, even though I live out in the country south of Buckman, when I'm driving to Pierz a lot of times, I've seen people walking in front of the memorial and just taking a nice look at it. And I made my own special view tonight, just stopping and looking by right where that water fountain would be. And that's right in the smack middle. It's gonna block off the whole complete view. Okay, and I think if we all work at this as a team, then we can, instead of satisfying ourselves in what we want to have a little drinking for the kids or somebody to have, let's have for the majority of the people who are representing us, giving us freedom, and giving us the life. Have any of you people been in the military yourself? Mayor,
Yep.
you have? How long were you in?
Probably about 4 years, National Guard.
Okay,
Mhm.
then, where'd you have your basic training and everything?
Fort Dix, New Jersey.
Good.
Beautiful
Well,
sand country.
Yes, but I mean, that gives you a little perspective of what all the military people go through. Not everybody be going at Oregon, but I mean, that's what saved us. My dad was in Korean War. I was in the military. My son was in the Navy, and right when 9/11 happened, he was gonna graduate 1 week later. We couldn't even go to the graduation. He ended up taking all the Marines out there right at the beginning of the war when they were trying to kill Hussein. That's the time he was out there. Bombs were flying all over everything too. What's being represented and being honored but the Veterans Memorial. So we're asking if you just please consider tapping that off, leave it where it is, but the thing is, not that's blocking off the view that's needed for all us people that we're representing.
Very good. I think, you know, I'm sure the city council feels, you know, the same way I do as far as when it comes to our veterans. I've always had a huge soft spot for our veterans. What they've done for this country is, you know, you can't put a value on that. It's just, it's unbelievable, you know, the sacrifices that were made and are still being, you know, made by our veterans. When the council came to this decision about putting a fountain there, we had some debate about that, or a lot of good information from our Public Works Committee. We took a look at the style of fountain this evening that was gonna go in there. Did you guys see that, or?
I've seen her all about it, but that's still defeating the value of our memorial. That's a block.
Public Works, what do you guys,
Well, I think we took the first step as a city council on public works and working with Bob, that when the memorial was going in there, I said right away, the lion's gotta go away. It's not gonna look right.
Right.
And again, that's another service committee, the Lions Club, and it was originally over here, and the lion is going back over to this park. I had a lot of tribulations on making this decision, and I looked and I looked and I looked and I walked, my wife and I walk at night, and there is a lot of people that stop and utilize it, and they look at everything in the park, and the water fountain does get used. The proposal that has come is 40 inches tall, is as tall as that fountain is that they're looking at purchasing.
40 inches tall, still blocking it off.
No matter what, in my opinion, Tom, wherever you put anything out there, at one split second, when you're driving by, it's gonna block the view of something. And
You take a look at the Pierz one over there, there's nothing blocking in front of that. The memorial on the opposite side for the
Father
church.
Pierz.
Father Pierz?
Father Pierz, what you wanna call it, there's nothing blocking that. Nothing at all. Matter of fact, I noticed tonight there's a picnic table, it's so close towards, but that's such a low value, because that one's even popped up a little higher. You still get to know the statue and everything like that. The whole thing is have a little dignity and think of the veterans instead of yourselves.
Well, we had the dignity and to put it there and make it a beautiful area. We're not trying to taking anything away from that memorial. At that same time, if you have veterans stopping to look at it, do you not think they want to drink some water?
No.
As a service, you wouldn't think that any of them that stop.
Have you ever went to other parks? There's hardly any of them that have drinking fountains.
I can't say that I have, so I
Yeah, I have. And the big thing is, when you go, take for instance, you go to a football game. Unless you buy water, you don't get no water. How many hundreds and sometimes thousands of people are there?
Well, there you'd be wrong. I go to a lot of the St. John's football games and they have water.
No, I'm talking about Pierz Pioneer. I'm talking about Pierz Pioneer. There's no drinking fountains out there. There's no drinking fountain for the tennis matches. There's no drinking fountains for soccer matches. Anything.
but they sell water there. We don't have
Okay,
somebody
I
in the
rest my
park
case.
selling
They
water.
sell water, I rest my case.
Yeah.
They sell water.
Yeah.
That's the purpose.
And we
of
don't
it.
have the employee staff to have somebody sitting in the park to sell water, so.
Well, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand.
For the amount of time they spend there, you tell me how many people are gonna die of thirst or be that terribly thirsty for 5 or 10 minutes. The thing is, just look at your heart for a second, especially Mr. Bajowski. I've heard a lot about you, I've never seen you before, but I've heard a lot about you. Please take a little piece out of your heart and think of what all these people in the world, especially around here, all the veterans have done for you. You got the freedom to sit up there and talk like you want to make decisions you want.
I'm not denying that, honest to God, I'm not
I
denying
know
any
you.
of that. But I'm also looking at the veterans that come there, and you can't say none of them would like a drink of water. When the line was there, I've saw people there all the time taking a drink of water. And what we're trying to put there is a small handicap accessible fountain. Okay,
Sure.
it's 36 inches tall. I
Yeah,
did go over
before it
there.
was 40, now 36.
40, we got the
No, you're
specs.
28.
I'm looking, no, I was looking at the handicap.
Oh, the handicap one is lower, yeah.
But at that height, if you sit in your vehicle and put a tape measure down and look over it, you'll look straight over the fountain. That fountain is not gonna block that view. It does block it in terms of what's on the grass, but it's not gonna, the tall monument, it does not block.
But for people that drive by, it blocks enough, they don't even hardly notice the memorial.
Well, they'll notice it for several feet before and several feet after. When you came tonight and you looked, when did you start looking at your memorial?
Oh, from the time we put it up.
No, I'm talking as you're heading from south to north. Once you get by where the old, car lot used to be, you can see your memorial there already, and you can follow that all the way through until you drive by, and you can turn and look backward, and you can see the whole memorial.
I want to show you. This is like right from the road. And you put up a water fountain here, and that's a direct blockage of the memorial. Every one of you. You take a look at this. That's a direct block of the memorial. And that's the whole defeat here. Also, you, Mr. Saehr, I heard you've been pretty stubborn in listening to people. So I'm hoping you keep it open mind. I'm just telling you what I hear about you people. I don't know you.
Listen
So
to me
I'm just
first.
asking you,
I do
please
not
take a
have
look.
vote in any of this, so please.
Okay, well-
I work with Fred every day, I think that's a
I'm not talking about that.
miscommunication.
I'm just talking about.
If you come
I
into
hear
my
a lot of
office,
people
I would
in my
love to
meetings.
chat with you, otherwise I don't know.
Right, well,
So
Scott will
people
bring you
can
a
talk
medal.
until they come and talk to me, then I
Scott?
will explain what the council is making for decisions. I do not have a decision in this.
okay, well, I'm just telling you what they tell me.
And, well,
So,
please
and
have
I
them
never
come and talk
accused you,
to
I
me.
never accused you of it, I
You
know.
just did, yes.
No, I said, that's what they told me, that's different.
Well,
like I said.
let's try to keep this as simple as we can.
He just.
I think it comes down to, you know,
With Father Brady.
for me personally,
That's a phone, that's a water phone.
That's the pipe.
Just forget it.
Right,
Yeah.
How
so,
tall is that pipe that's sticking up there, Bob?
it can't be more than about 20, yeah.
He did it.
It's gonna be twice as high as that.
It'll be a week till Sunday night.
In my opinion, you take it to about this height. From this view.
Well, why don't we, I don't know, would you guys be okay and would the council be okay with
Just forget it, so I gotta-
maybe taking something the size of the fountain that it's gonna be and just, I don't care if it's a piece of cardboard or plywood or whatever, and actually just putting it there to see,
Look at it.
so we can look at it and actually see, you know, how much it's gonna
Right.
obstruct it. Would you guys be okay with that?
Sure, they
Okay.
give you a real view of it.
Right, it might be a good
That's all we're
idea.
asking.
Okay. No, absolutely, I mean, if there's a way we can make this work, we wanna make it work with, you know, the memorial and,
We offered-
you know, I'm not in favor of moving it. My personal preference is if it doesn't go there, I just assume the captain take anything off.
That's what we're-
That's my personal
Right,
preference.
that's
but
exactly what we're at.
Has to be a consensus amongst the council as well,
Right.
so.
To take away the.
You guys aren't gonna be happy with me, but I'll give you my 2 cents. I parked in front of that spot, actually, the other night for a meeting, and I thought, wow, that kinda looks ugly here, and I realized that's not what the fountain's gonna look like, but I just thought that looks kinda ugly there in front of the memorial.
Mhm.
And when we talked about it before, I guess I wasn't real excited about putting something else there, but again, I wanna see what it
It would be kinda nice. I mean, I've seen what Bob had picked out, and the fountain itself is I think beautiful, but is it gonna work there, is it not gonna work there, is it gonna obstruct the view? I think, you know, if it's consensus is with everybody, that's
Let's
okay
put
with
up
you guys.
something
Well,
to,
It'd be kinda nice if we could actually set something there that, and then we could,
My
we
personal
know for
opinion
sure.
as a non-voter. When Bob and I consider this, Bob and I, just in
Bob who?
talking, Bob Otremba,
Bob
Bob is the one that has to maintain.
It's
the
public
water.
works.
Big bad Bob?
You heard about him?
Bob is the one that has to maintain and he has to drain the water and everything like that out of it, being it is an additional cost to the city and things like that. I mean, I agree with Toby in regards to, yes, it is in the way, I agree 100% with that. But if there wasn't anything there, I mean, I guess it would be a benefit to Bob as well, too.
From a maintenance of.
From a maintenance and taking care of it, but then again, the Lions are the ones that did come forward to us
To wanna,
to wanna do that and to fund it, so.
and which was really nice of Lions, so.
Correct.
They wanted to move their lion head away from there, so it didn't take away from it. And they wanted to buy a new one, a smaller version of something, to put it back, so.
And that was very, very generous of the Lions to step up to wanna do that. You guys okay if we just table this until our next meeting, and that will give us 2 weeks to put something there, and you guys can come around individually as a group, take a look at it and see what you think, and we'll come back and we'll visit this at the next meeting.
And let us know when it's up, so we can go take a look.
Absolutely. Maybe,
Yeah, I can get something up there.
okay, I'm sure Bob will have something going there in the next couple days. If you wanna leave your contact number so we can get a hold of you, just let you know when it's up, that way you don't have to waste
I appreciate that.
You
It's
bet.
all teamwork, we all gotta work together.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you for your
We don't
time.
need a motion to,
No, we
You know,
don't.
your phone number.
well, we agreed to put it in already.
Right.
But we haven't agreed on which one, so we're already.
Okay. Thanks again, Ian. Next item we have is SEH's feasibility study on some road, sewer, water, a whole bunch of good stuff.
Want to come up?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you get to pull a chair along, Bob will try to come up with.
Yeah, that's good.
Dave Blomo, for those of you that haven't met me.
Nice to meet you, Dave.
Dave?
Don't tell me Scott's on vacation.
He is not on vacation.
Okay, good. Buff razzle.
It seems like he has been all month, so feel free to ask him. I would encourage that.
Bob, I'm gonna give you.
All right, well, kind of collaborative effort between us and Bob here to get something in front of you guys this evening. It's been kind of a work in progress, a couple of changes here and there. This is where we're at right now, and I'll start by saying that still can be a little flexible with it. We have a few options moving forward, so what we're looking at here is pretty much updating our capital improvement plan that was done in 2010 into a little more level of detail that gives us a better idea of what our costs are going to be on these kind of projects here, so. Collaborative effort between us and RIPSA as always tends to happen down here, so Scott went ahead and split out the cost based on
Yep.
that to get everybody what their true share should be, so. Said it's fairly straightforward, kinda did the agreement here where we have options, so it's kind of an à la carte, help yourself to whatever you like, we can talk about the benefits of each. But, here's what it is to do it all.
Okay. Did you guys have a chance to take a look at the study and the contract and everything? The agreement, I should say. Did you guys have any questions on that? He had it broken down to whose, cost to each entity. I think you seen on there that the city's portion was roughly $15,188, is that correct?
That's correct.
RIPSA's, portion would be, $8,462, with a grand total of $23,650. Is that correct?
Nailed it.
Whatever happened in the old days where they gave you estimates for free?
talking with a yardstick, not with a fencing and borings.
Yeah, this is both the feasibility report and the soil boring.
Yep. Anybody have?
One of my questions was, for the soil boring, is it on the bottom of one of the sheets, and I was just looking for it, can't find it now, but it said it was gonna, everything was agreed to maximum depth.
Yeah, by maximum depth, what they're going for there is basically as deep as we need to be. In this case, we add a few feet for a ripsaw, and they pay the additional depth. So we're getting the portion that we need to see for sewer, for street and storm sewer. And the ripsaw covers the distance below that they need for water main and sanitary sewer, so that.
Well, my main question would be is, for example, Centennial Drive is all, there's nothing underneath it. Here, it is all portions of the street being constructed, considered to be full depth reclamation. So I'm wondering why is, are we still talking
Sewer, water, all that
feet,
other
anything
stuff.
that's out there? Or is that one of these that should only be 18 inches or?
You know, we usually like to go down somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 feet as a minimum.
Okay.
One, because you're paying, your cost is getting them to set up on each site more so than the actual distance to go down. So as much as anything, you're paying them for to move the truck. So 5 feet gives us a good example of what we're seeing at the surface, and it lets us know that, you know, that road's not in great shape. You know, there's a reason we're talking about redoing it, and getting us down to below that 5 feet is kind of where we stop seeing the subgrade acting on the surface itself. So minimum 5 feet. I mean, you'll see some counties in the 3 to 4 foot range, but they're pounding them every 100 feet because
Yeah.
they can do that. So it's a good average. I think 5 feet is probably what you'd see as a minimum.
And that's what Scott pretty much talked about when we first started the project, getting going, that it was a minimum of 5 feet borings.
It would just that there's nothing
No.
out there underneath there. It'd be a matter of, is it needed? I guess I'm looking at, when I
Right.
see $15,000, I'm like, man.
No, absolutely.
A very fair question. Like I said, I would love to see even further, but at some point there's a diminishing return, and that's probably at about 5 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions? Okay, so with feasibility study? Want, gentlemen to move forward? If so, we're gonna need a motion.
I make a motion that we, move forward with the feasibility study with SEH and the borings.
There's a motion on the floor by Mike. Can we get a second? Second by Gina. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, carried unanimously. Well, thanks, guys.
And
You
we'll,
get-
I request then that we, with Ripsaw, we do some type of resolution with the, that.
As far as the
together,
cost
As far as
split.
the work and the cost split, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we won't start until Ripsaw approves it at their board meeting with next week.
Okay,
If that's, so we obviously won't do anything until that's all.
okay, and then, yeah, we do have to have some kind of.
Do we
If
need
that's
a-
all right, I'll just put together some type of resolution that we did like with the county a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
in regards to
Yep.
139.
Yep.
Do the same thing and
Okay,
with, if there's any board change, member change.
Yeah, and that'll give, if they have
Okay.
their meeting next week, we can approve that at the following
Meeting.
week, or our meeting.
okay,
I'll
sounds
put that
good.
together then.
Thanks, Scott. All right, thank you much.
Hopefully I can provide some value by answering a question or two here, so.
Well,
Thank you very much. We
yeah,
will,
you're new, so we're not gonna pick on you too much, but
Oh,
with Scott, if he was here.
You don't scare me in the least. I can take it.
We don't like you to be scared.
No, thank you very much.
It's that guy you gotta be worried about.
Thanks, Dan.
Always good to know.
Thanks again. Next item we have is our Public Works Utility Truck.
Might as well bring Bob back up here.
As you guys know, that, with our other, city vehicle down and, or needs to be junked, we kind of moved our truck purchase up a year. And I know we were looking at some new models, and, Bob had called me here a couple weeks ago and let me know what he had in mind, and why don't you explain it to everybody, Bob, what we got?
Yeah, we were looking at a new truck. Right now, our current vehicle is a 2007, and it's in good condition. It only has 35 to 40,000 miles on it. And the option to buy a new truck, the 2015 is priced out at about $21,000. I had a bid for a 2016. We weren't able to get into the 2015. It was too late in the year. The 2016 that we priced out was $25,000. just having two newer vehicles like that, I just felt like it's kinda nice to have some kind of a work truck where you feel like you can put brush on it, put wood
Don't
on
have
it,
to worry
feel
about
like you can
scratching
use
it.
it, right? I came across, it's a 2001, it's a 4x4 plow truck with a dump box. It's a 1-ton truck, and then it comes with a plow. It actually came from the city of Chaska, and it was bought on an auction, and then this guy's reselling it. Just having that dump box, I think, just for small projects here and there around town. I would even actually use it for patching, brush hauling. It has a toolbox on it. And I think the plow, just having that availability to use it, I think would be beneficial. It is older, you know, it's 18,500, and the bottom line on it was 17,900.
It's got 52,000 miles on it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the amount of meal,
What year is it, Bob?
It's a 2001.
considering the amount of miles we put on in a year, yeah, the body's probably gonna go to heck before the
Right.
engine ever would.
I mean, realistically, I think I can get 10 good years out of this thing, and there's nothing on here that the guys around here we can't fix, so.
You also spoke with the one of the supervisors from the city of Chaska.
Yeah, he said it's been a good truck, they have their stuff on a schedule, and they just get a new one. A truck like this, I priced out, it's 40,000 new, that's without the toolbox or the plow. I guess just having that ability for even a backup plow, just to do something if you're down, get some streets open. I think it's a good work truck, and you can use it, and
No,
I think he's saving us money and we're getting a better deal. We approved him for a $22,000 new truck, and now we're, in my opinion, getting a more workable unit. And you're saving us some money. It's a no-brainer. I make a motion that we purchase the 2001, what brand is it?
Chevy.
A Chevy. That's a good song. My motion is to purchase the 2001 Chevy with all the attachments for, what is it,
17,900.
17,900.
there's a motion on the floor, can we get a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Donnie, all those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, carried unanimously.
What color is it,
Thanks,
Bobby?
Bobby.
It's yellow.
Yellow.
Well,
Scotty, or maybe
Yeah,
Dan,
that's the snowplow truck.
Looks like Dan.
park dam inspection report?
That actually came. to me.
Okay.
I guess this is the first time I've saw it, but unless you have more.
Just park department report or?
No,
No,
dam,
based on the dam
Dam.
report.
park dam inspection report.
That's by the DNR or DOT or?
Correct, DNR, that's the
DNR.
Department of Natural Resources. This was sent to me physically by the mail, and they just did a report on the dam that's, and there's some pictures to follow in your packets, but the dam that's on the golf course. I did talk to Dan briefly about it, and if you look, actually, if you read through the checklist, 1s and 2s are good or minor potential problem. And monitor, but we fall in the 1 and 2 category where things are good with the dam that's down at the park, and I just wanted to inform the council about it, was the main thing. It was sent to us from.
So we passed with flying colors.
Correct, yes, but I just wanted the council to be aware, along with the community, that, these are.
Dam's in good
taking
shape.
place and they're in good condition.
Thanks, thanks for the info, Scott. Did we have any building permits?
we have two. We have a sidewalk for Wally Meyerhofer to go from his garage around to the house. Right now, he has paving stone, and he's switching it to a sidewalk. And the second one we have is for right behind us here, is 112 Summer Street, and it's just for a small shed, basically 8 by 10, 8-foot tall sidewalls. And it's gonna be the old Josie Ho, I think Josie Wessel's house, that first house south of the park.
Okay, everything panned out, planning and zoning done?
Everything's perfect with planning and zoning on both.
I will need a motion to approve the permits.
I'll make a motion to approve them.
second?
I'll second.
Second by Stephanie, all those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, carried unanimously. Next item we have is our electrical rates for 2016. Actually starting in a couple of months. We had our public hearing earlier this evening based on a rate hike by Minnesota Power. And we are gonna have to follow suit on that increase, and that is an increase of 7%.
Yep.
So,
Knowing full fact that if, once this contract and our negotiating team with the municipal buyers group, we're pretty confident that we can bring it back down, but right now we need to follow suit until that contract's signed. So I would make a motion that we increase our electric rates by 7%, exactly what Minnesota Power is increasing our cost right now.
there's a motion on the floor by Mike, get a second.
I'll second that.
Second by Donnie, all those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, carried unanimously. We do have some department reports. Bobby, do you have anything?
I just had one quick thing I wanted to bring up. We've been having issues here at City Hall with the air conditioning and makeup air system. These two offices right here, the administrator and police office, you just can't get them cold. Not cold, but I mean even manageable, in my opinion.
Yeah, manageable would be the key.
Yeah.
But you don't like it 90 degrees?
Well, it's not that.
This was a sweatshop.
We also have an issue next door in the senior center. I'm under the understanding that
They
someone.
need a makeup air system in their facility with that commercial kitchen. I had my allotment out here and he came with one of his heating and air conditioning specialists. And he's gonna just put a proposal together for us. I don't know how, if we wanna get somebody else or,
Take a
the
look and
best
see
way
what
to.
he's got, yeah.
Yeah. It just feels like we need to get some of this stuff separated, with different units. With the building use that we got going on, 90 degrees in the kitchen and the thermostat's here. I mean, it
Yeah,
just.
I know, and then we've got, an air circulation problem.
Right.
Our condensers are not in very good condition, they're nothing great to write home about. They're on the roof and we're trying to run our cooling coils from the roof down the side of the building, then back halfway across the building again over to the front.
In the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
it's a fire
really.
hall turned into a senior center, into a commercial kitchen, office. I mean, it's just,
Jail.
it's hodgepodge.
Was it jail?
Was the jail too?
Are we gonna start one, I guess?
So I guess I just told him to.
Yeah,
figure
why
out
don't you
a
see what
worst
he
case
comes up with
scenario
then.
and just, we've got
Yeah, I mean,
7 refrigerator units running to the.
I know, it just generates so much heat over there, it's unbelievable, so we do need to get some, definitely some makeup air for the amount of combustion that's going on in cooking, number one. Number two is, all the appliances that are running over there, that little room generates a ton of heat, so. I agree, Bugs.
Thanks, Bob.
Daniel, my brother. How's it going?
Good.
Good.
August or July numbers were good. Couple hundred short of our best July. As of now, we're sitting well above last year. Everything's running smooth. The Tri-City came in and finished the cart pass, as the golfers know.
That's good.
Just slowly keep fixing up all the rust they made. It'll be perfect by next year. As things are winding down, my staff school schedules have conflicted, and so I guess I'm looking to, I found somebody that's willing to come in for about 40 days and pick up some hours that school schedules conflict. So I guess I would like to hire Wanda Lai to fill those spots to finish out this season. Okay, to Wanda Lai, L-E-Y. She's pretty flexible, and,
Local gal here.
no, she's from Saehr, so.
Is there,
but she takes care of seniors and stuff, so her schedule's 100% flexible. So I 10 to 15 hours a week is what I'm foreseeing.
About 10 hours a week.
To
Do
fill
you
her.
guys know somebody else who might be interested?
Everybody's going back to school.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at what, till?
And she wouldn't start until September, where school's pretty much, so
Just kinda looking at,
about 40 days.
Wind-
The
wind
wind
down
downs
time.
are
Yeah.
slow fall like days, so it's not too complicated.
you guys wanna do?
Gotta bring her on. I'll make that motion.
Motion on the floor to hire Wanda Lai, to help out down at the golf course for the last 45 days or so. Get a second?
I'll second.
Second by Gina, all those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed,
Wages.
carried unanimously.
What are we gonna pay her? Is,
So,
Minimum, which is our $9 an hour.
correct. Yes, so just to inform the council that after looking with League of Minnesota Cities, our auditor, within the minimum wage that started as of August 1st, we do qualify as a large employer, because we budget for more than 500,000, so therefore our minimum wage line, or low, is $9 an hour. So in communicating with Dan, it's not gonna affect the budget that much with a total of 5 employees, which most of them are going back to school now, starting as of August 1st. So, we should have room in the labor and the wages and salaries category for.
We couldn't have been that far under, were we? Or what was it before?
It was
We-
725.
And now it's moved to 9.
So, and Bob, and Dan and I were starting to look at the numbers for next year too, for budgeting too, so.
Okay.
That's
Anything
all
else,
I
Alan?
got, we'll be taking the damn horse out. And, in a few
Okay.
weeks, actually, right after Labor Day is when we usually take them out, give or take, so.
Okay.
You had sentenced to serve to help you with that, or?
Like, we just do it ourselves, because it's one of those things, if you schedule, you have to do it that day, and if it rains or something, it's
Yeah.
not that big of a deal. It only takes a few hours,
Okay.
so.
Well, you guys be careful.
Definitely.
Thanks, Dan. Brian?
That's not.
Oh, I'm sorry, Scotty. Jeez, I skipped right by you.
Let's do Brian quick.
Okay. I know Brian is going mighty tight over there. It's like he was just kind of melting in his chair.
No, pretty minor. I just wanted to bring forth the hiring process. We had one application for the training officer / safety officer. It was Dan Rushlow, who will bring a lot to the table. He was a former training officer in the past, and he'll do a really fine job for us in the future. So I'm looking for a recommendation or to go ahead to finalize that.
I make a motion to, appoint or hire, however we do it, hire, Dan Rushlow as our training safety officer for the fire department.
There is a motion on the floor. Can we get a second?
I'll second that.
Motion on the floor by Mike and second by Stephanie. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. How's it going otherwise, Brian?
Good, Thursday morning, 4:30, we'll be heading down to South Dakota to do a pre-inspection before paint. Our piping is done, the box is built, so we're gonna go down, verify shelving, verify locations, make sure that if there's anything that we choose to change or retro for any reason, that it can be done before paint. So things are on track for the truck to probably be done somewhere in late September, early October, just kind of what we were
Kinda what we
looking
were
at, maybe
thinking.
a little bit later than what we talked about a year ago when we did this, so things are looking okay, so we should be all right.
Good. Nice. Be nice to get.
Other than that is it.
What are we gonna do with our city truck?
Well, that is something that, the city owns the 505 Chevy. The rural area right now solely owns the 502, the other pumper. That's gonna be a decision that you guys ultimately have to make. I know on the last trucks that we've gotten or replaced have been, set up by the city shop or down at the fire hall and open to sealed bids. There's not much of a demand for a pumper like that for another department unless somebody was to have like a a loss of a truck due to a fire or an accident or something like that. Otherwise, we're just not gonna get rid of it to that. So hopefully, maybe we can, somebody wants it for a chassis or somebody wants it for some kind of farm use. But I would think that, come middle of next month, we'll start looking at the anticipated delivery date, and we'll have to start thinking about something of, how you guys wanna approach
We
that.
gotta have room in the barn to put the new one.
Right.
Geez, you mean nobody is gonna really want a 1979 Chevy with low miles?
Well, somebody will want the chassis,
That's probably worth the most, yes.
Right.
So.
but you gotta go
yeah.
through a lot of work to get to the chassis, they're gonna have to take everything off, and there's nothing on there that's usable for us, you know?
No, just a PTO pump or maybe a hydraulic ram or something like that, we'll see, but both, the city and the townships will need to have to do the same thing, so we'll see where that takes us.
Keep us posted, Brian, on how the trip down there goes, and
Yes.
if you guys are happy with everything, and
We will do that.
thank you much.
Thanks, Brian.
Bring your wallet.
Treasurer's report.
Oh, Scott.
Oh, Scotty, I forgot about you again.
Eric wasn't able to make it tonight, so I did wanna include his report in there, so you guys can look at that when you'd like. As far as from my end, I would like a motion and a second on in regards to increasing the golf wages.
Or just the minimum wage.
Yes, increase the minimum wage, just so I have that on record, if that would be.
For
That's a
audited
good idea.
purposes, yeah. I make a motion that we,
Adjust.
adjust our, minimum wage to $9 an hour.
There's a motion on the floor from Mike. Get a second. Second by Gina. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously.
Then one other thing I had was our current clean lady went back to school, so I had someone that volunteered to, do the cleaning services. She was $1 more an hour, and she approached me, so we're gonna have a motion.
Who is it, Scott?
It is, she's Grace, I can't think of her last name right now. Wayne Sterling.
Hessian?
Hessian, yeah, Heshy. Hesky, there we go.
SB. Okay, we will need a motion to have that done.
And she'll clean here, the library and the golf course.
No, she'll clean here in the library. That's right, I always have run into issues with the golf course, but we're through that season right now, and Dan and I.
Don't
kinda
worry about
thought
it next year.
Yeah.
Maybe trying to find something separately for her, so.
Okay. Get a motion to approve that.
I'll make the motion.
Motion on the floor by Donnie. Can we get a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mike. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. Scott, what else we got?
That is all I have.
Thanks, Scotty. We do have our treasurer's report.
The checkbook balance with the statement on July 31st was $1,272,000, I don't know how I say this.
Okay.
$1,272,611.39.
You mean your
That's
checkbook's not that big, Linda?
You'll practice that. Our LGA money came in on July 20th, that's why the checkbook balance is so high.
Would the council like to move some of that into, we typically, we like to keep it around 500,000 to 700,000
In the checkbook.
correct?
Well,
What's
between
the
that and our electrical
suggestion?
fund, we're getting close. We wouldn't have to do it this month, but maybe we could look at the end of the year, is taking out another CD maybe. Sounds like we're getting up there, yeah.
And I did have a CD that we need to renew. It's
Speak
a
of
general
which.
fund CD. The renewal rates for 12 months is 0.06, for 18 months is 0.07, and if we go 24 months, it'd be 1%. Big drop considerably.
How much money are we looking at typically, moving, Scott, if you're saying? I'm just saying, from
Oh.
you guys' perspective as the financial committee, would we wanna take some of this and put it in, add it to that CD, or do you wanna start a new one? What's the benefit? Do we have a benefit of starting a new one,
Well, it's
or?
keeping the money separate.
Yeah.
The general fund CD versus doing the electrical.
Well, this is general fund,
This is
correct?
general fund.
This
If
is
it's
general.
LGA money, it would be general fund money,
I'm
no?
talking about the electric one.
Oh,
When we look at.
well, I'm talking about the
what I was
LGA
talking
one.
about. Okay.
I would say a comfortable area would be around 700,000. Would be my,
To move?
no, that would be in the checkbook.
Right,
Just
so that would
otherwise
be,
you'd
so
have
we'd have,
400,000, but I don't know if, I would request we, like Toby said, wait a little while until we.
well, and I think you
Some of
guys
the
need to talk
expenses.
about it, you know, as a,
So the money in the CD that she has due right now, do we wanna renew it for
Yes.
18 months or 24 months, or just stick with the 12 months and get the 0.6? What do we wanna do with
But
that one?
Sharon reminded me, she encouraged us to go with the 1%. She reminded us that if we do need the money, we can take it out.
No penalties,
With no
right?
penalties.
I think we should.
I make a motion that we renew that CD for 24 months at a 1%.
There's a motion on the floor by Stephanie to renew the CD. FNL, can you get a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Mike. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. Linda, you got anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, thanks. Got some bills to pay for the month. Anybody have any question on the claims? If not, we need a motion to have those approved. Motion on the floor by Gina. Get a second.
I'll second it.
Second by Mike. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. Anybody else have anything this evening? If not, I guess we need a motion to adjourn.